Pandas library is absolutely the master of handling data. So that is why even for handling date and time, we could use Pandas data library. In this video, we are going to see how to do that. These are all the topics that we are going to see in today's video. First, we are going to see how to handle date and time columns confidently in a data set. We are going to see how to convert object columns to date time. If the data is in string format, if a particular column is in string format, we are going to see how to convert that to date time format. We are going to see how to extract useful date features. Useful date features here means if I have a date, how it will be. It will definitely be having the date, it will have the month, it will have the year, right? So in that, if I just want to take the month and print, I can do that using Pandas in an easy way. So in this video, we are going to see how to do that. We are also going to see how to clean and standardize text data. So after completing this video, you will get a clarity on how to work effectively with real world messy data sets. That is what you are going to get in hand. Generally, data sets are not clean at all. They would be absolutely messy. It might have space in between, it might have some unwanted characters, it might have special characters or unwanted numbers at unexpected places, it might have a particular data in different formats. So, if we have those problems in my data, as a human being, I can understand, but my machine learning model will struggle to understand what is going on between that table data. So for handling that, we do have so many methods. So let's see them one by one. For understanding them and to see how to work with them, let's just create a fake data set first. So for creating the data set, first I'm importing my pandas library using PD. Next to that, I'm creating a dictionary inside which I'm going to create a data frame. So inside a dictionary, I'm giving column name as key and I'm giving list of all values and storing that as values of a dictionary, and those values are going to be as the values of that particular column name. If I have order ID, below that column name order ID, I'll be having the values 101, 102, 103, 104, 105 likewise. So likewise, I'm creating 5 different columns. First column is order ID. The second column is order date. The third column is customer name. Fourth column is city and fifth column is sales. Look into this, how I am creating this data set. Here, specifically in the second column, that is something that you need to focus on right now. In order date, you might see that date are of different format. It is not on the same format, right? See, on my first date, I have date in the format like year, month, and date. Next, I do have date in the format of date, month, date, and year. Next to that, I do have the same date, but I do have backward slash. I do not have hyphen instead. In the fourth date, I have my month in alphabetical characters. In my fifth date, it is on a normal scenario. So, in this 5 different format, everything is completely different, right? Not everything is same. Only 2 date format is similar. So, how my Python will understand this? Python will not at all understand this. So, let's see how to handle that. So, for that, what you have to do is, so after creating this data set particularly, what I am doing is I am converting that into a data frame first using pd.dataframe and storing that inside a df variable. When I call that variable name, it will be printing all the values in my table. So when I just call the df, it will be printing my first and last 5 rows. So as we just have 5 rows in this particular data set, it is just printing 5 rows. If I want to check, so let's run this coding cell first. So this is something. First, you need to create the data set as similar to how I created this data set. This is your first task. This is output. This is how I created my data set for the first time. Next, I need to know the data type of each and every column in my table. I do have 5 different columns. I need to check the data type. How to do that? It is simple. We'll be using a syntax of df.info. If I want to convert my date into a format which doesn't have any errors, which doesn't have any problems, how to do that? It is simple using pandas. First, I am giving df of order date. I'm calling that column name which I'm going to use here, which is equal to pd.do2datetime. What I'm doing here? What is going on? I'm converting that datetime into a common format. If I have one column which has date, I want all my date in the same format, or else I do not want that date at all. So for that, what I'm doing here is I'm using pd.toDateTime. So if I have the date in the expected format, it will be taken into consideration. If it is not there, what will happen? For that purpose, we are giving errors equal to coerce. The purpose of using this syntax, errors equal to coerce, is if my date is not in the correct format, my particular cell which has that date of different format will be converted into this NAT. Instead of having date of different format, which will make the machine learning model to understand my data in a complicated way, what I'm doing is I'm trying to avoid that complexity. I want my ML model to understand this data easily. For that, what I'm doing here is I'm using errors equal to coerce. So, whenever my pandas library see any errors inside, which have a date in different format, it will automatically get converted into a NAT format. So now my pandas can understand it is not an applicable date. So in the starting of the video, I mentioned, right, if I have date, in that I'll be having date, month and year. If I just want to print the year, month or date, it is possible. In addition to that, even if I want to print which day, if I give the date and I want to see what day it is possible in pandas. Let's see how to do that. So if I just want to print the year, it is simple. First, I'm creating a column name. So for creating a separate column for printing year alone, I'm doing this. df of year. It is a name of a column, which is equal to df of order date dot dt.year. So what this particular syntax is doing, in this order date column, in this particular value, take the year alone and print it into this particular column of year. That is how this syntax works. When I give dt.month and when I give dt.day, according to the month it will print, according to the day it will be printed. But what is this syntax? What is going on here? I mentioned, right, we could easily print the day. If it is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday or Saturday, it is possible using pandas. So this is the simple and one-line syntax for that. Just by using dt.day name, it will be printing the day of the year. Let's see if it works accurately. So here, look into this date. If I just want to see in this 2024, 5 and 20. So for this particular date, I want to see the day. Here it is printed as Monday. Let's cross check with Google. So it is absolutely Monday. So we confirmed that. My pandas is capable of doing all these operations. So that is why pandas is considered as a powerful library for handling data. If I don't want to arrange my data in the format of increasing date. So if today is Sunday, next day is it's going to be Monday, right? So I want my data in that format. Specifically according to date, not per the day. If it is 1st of Jan, next should be 2nd of Jan. Likewise, I want that my data in that order. How to do that? It is easy. So observe clearly, I just need to give df dot short values of the column name where I stored my date. So when I run this cell, so it will be printed in the ascending order of my date. So this is the syntax for doing sorting in my date column. If I want to clean my data set, specifically when my data set have string, How to do that? It is absolutely easy. See the syntax. What I'll be using is I'll be using strip and title. str dot strip and title. In my data set, wherever I have when I see my string, in which columns and all I do have string data type specifically, I mean object. In customer name and city, right? So for first time, let's take customer name into consideration. In this customer name, actually my particular data is like this. So one name starts with capital A and followed by lowercase letters. But for the second name, it is fully uppercase. My third one is on the correct way, and my fourth name is fully lowercase. So which has grammatical mistakes, right? Which is not grammatically right. So let's convert this into a professional one. How to do that? What you're going to do is inside a column, customer name, we do have this particular data of customer name. So for that, which is equal to df of customer name dot str dot strip, and we need to give str dot title. Specifically here, str dot title is used for converting a particular word. If I have like Anu, when I have Anu, here the capital letter A is there on the first letter, right? So followed by that capital A, I do have another letter with lowercase letters. But when you look into the Bala, here it is on the right format. But in my actual data, the Bala is not on the right format. Instead, what is there? We do have all the characters in uppercase letters. But name shouldn't be like that, right? The starting letter should be on capital and the following letter should be a lowercase letters. So for converting that into the format how it should be, you could use title. Title is generally used for having a word with starting letter of uppercase letter, followed by that we'll be having lowercase letters. So when I run this cell, you could see the customer name. It is actually in the format that I expected, and it got arranged in the ascending order as per the customer name. So that is why we are using strip here. What is the purpose of upper? Just by looking to the name, you could say, and you could see the output too. I know most of you might have probably guessed the usage of this upper. When I give a particular column name, when I call str.upper function, it will definitely convert that column with all the values into uppercase letters. If I use lower, what will happen? It will be converting into lowercase letters. What if I want to print a particular values of column, I mean the string that has a particular character. If a name has A, print that. If a name has I, print that. If a name has IE, print that. How to do that? In Pandas, it is a simplest syntax. See, df of customer name. It is actually the name of the column. Next to that, you need to give dot str dot contains of A. When you give that, whenever I see my Panda see a name that has A in it, it will be printing it. When it see A, it will print true and straight to the index value. So for Anu, not this one. Go to the actual date. So in actual data where you do have capital A, only for Anu you do have capital A, right? So only for this syntax in this index value of 0, it will be printing true. So for values of other index like first index, on second index, third index and fourth index, I have Bala, Charan, Divya, Delsa. But here we do not have capital A, right? So that is why as it doesn't found, see, there is no A in it, so it gives me false. So that is how it works. That is how you could simply figure it out if a particular string has a particular character or not. Based on that condition, you could print my data. So using pandas, you could do whatever you want to do, specifically in handling my data and converting into a format that I want. In real world, how this could be used, whatever we learned today. If you want to do monthly sales analysis, you could do specifically when it comes to date. If you have a particular column of date, I want to do sorting as per the ascending order or as per your expectation. You could do that even in descending order. You could do that. Next, if I want to do a standardization of customer name, if I have my customer name and want to convert that into a similar name. If I have 10 names, I want all the names in same format. It shouldn't be in different format. Like one uppercase, one lowercase, one uppercase, and full name is of uppercase, likewise. It shouldn't be messy. It should be in a cleaned format. If I want to do that standardization, it is easy with pandas, as similar to how we seen today. If I want to do the same grouping or reporting to that particular column, like city or any other columns which has string values, you can easily do that. So today, what is the task for the day? You need to extract week number from order date. Or similar to how we printed the day, you could easily print the week number of a particular month. You need to print that. That is the first task. Next, you need to create a quarter column. What generally is actually a quarter? In a year, we generally have four different quarters in a year. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter and fourth quarter. Totally, the 12 months will be divided into four different quarters. So, you need to create a column for printing that quarter and you need to print the quarter. Next, you need to find total sales month-wise. The fourth task is you need to convert all city names to lowercase. I told you how to do that, right? Next, as a last question, we do have filter customers whose name contains letter I. Similar to how we applied for A, you are going to apply this for I. Yeah, that's all for today. And if you do have any doubts, without any hesitation, drop them in comments. We'll see you in next amazing video. Bye for now.